See, it's a sad situation about that situation. Not so much as it's a black and white situation. It's the spirit of the government, what they allow them to do, carry the guns and to shoot and ask questions later, like they did in Texas. You have to protect your thing. But what the thing was about, it took so long that the system didn't work right for itself. That's what I got to say about it. It's a sad situation. It happens every day. But it's not a black and white that I see it as. I see it as a systematic that caused these things to happen to cover. Just like Ku Klux Klans, they had the sheets, but they ain't got the sheets though they had no more. But they still there, bought you fives.
I was told about KKK that they were actually funded by the CIA.
Perhaps it was. Perhaps it was.
To cause division amongst
to keep the control. What the police couldn't do and wouldn't do, they could do it and get away with it. And it would look bad on the government. Right. I believe that. I believe that.
So everybody loses, even though they think they're winning.
Right.
One side thinks they're winning, but they actually lose.
Even when I moved to North Carolina in the 70s, just remember 68, they had just made segregation for the schools now. So when they did the schools and brought the schools back, the school that my father went to was all black. But by me going down there and the segregation over, I was able to go to the white schools. The black and white was going together. But this is Main Street, right here. Yeah. These 2 blocks is Main Street.
Right.
Black folk wasn't allowed to come in through the grocery stores in the front of Main Street. They had to come through the parking lot in the back. North Carolina.
Wow.
They had to come through the back where the parking lot was at, and they had to go back out. Not because they couldn't even come through the door to go to another store. There were certain stores back in the 70s, 72 that they wouldn't even let black people buy from. Still, and that's a fact. And one of the stores was called Graham Brothers, right there in Red Springs, North Carolina. And it's a sad situation.
Well, I never been down there, so I don't know what's up. You know.
By down there?
Now they've been down there before.
Okay. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia in '83 when I graduated from high school. They started trying to get the Martin Luther King birthday illegal holiday. I went to the first one. That was in '85. Forsyth County at that time had in the tree that blacks had to be out by sundown. They went down there to protest, but then they threw rocks and everything. Then he had to turn around and go back to what you call it? They had to take the what's those people? Like the Army?
National Guard
down there to start that up. And that was in '85.
That's what happened in Newark. Remember what happened in Newark in the 70s?
Yeah, but see, it's a spirit. People don't really stop. See, we taught hatred.
Yeah, we all taught it.
I never say that the white man hold me down at that. At one time, that may be true to a certain extent, but in these days and times, he's not holding you back. Only thing that you got to do is got to wait. Right, you just got to wait and wear him out. That's all you got to do.
Yup.
So you get anything
Go look it up, big.
We can drive the BMWs, we can drive the Mercedes, we can live right here on Park Avenue, we can live right here in the upper west side. But at one time you couldn't.
But you know what I've come to realize though? It's not really so much white folk, it's certain people who just happen to be white.
Yeah.
That are perpetuating it.
And then when we carry that
not
in
white,
us,
it's looking like
when we carry that in us. Now look at here.
It goes both ways.
You ever see the white folk how they be jumping when they see us now? You know what I told them at the bus stop? You know what I told them at the bus stop? The lady did that. I said, listen, miss, I ain't gonna bother you. I said, but you know what? You may not have nothing to do with it just like I didn't. I said, but at one time, we used to jump like that when we saw y'all.
Yeah.